Hello dear Skyblock viewer. This is gonna be more of a unusual video. It's not gonna be a stream highlight. It's more of a rant slash announcement kind of video. I wanted to talk about one of the biggest issues in terms of Skyblock. This is a reoccurring pattern that has been pretty much killing a lot of endgame motivation to bother playing the game. You know, I've been a part of this community for a pretty long time. I would say for very much the entirety of Skyblock's existence, and pretty much throughout the entirety of Iron Man existence. And this game used to not have this issue. It became a really big demotivator when Skyblock XP came out. Now, I don't think Skyblock XP is responsible for this. I just think that admins started balancing the game according to Skyblock XP and a lot of early game people's complaints around obtaining that XP. What I mean by that is the best way to currently play the endgame is to not play the endgame, especially for Iron Man. As a normal player, your best bet is to keep grinding away money at the best money making methods out there, waiting for new updates so you could then spend that money. Now, if you enjoy the type of content, that's great, that you're gonna love Skyblock. But if you're not the type of player that only solely enjoys grinding money, and you're more of a person who enjoys doing cool things in the game, like getting really high bestiaries in specific mobs, or really high collections, or doing, you know, cool niche grinds like getting a Crown of Avarice to 1 billion counter and stuff. If you're more of that type of player, it's kind of a nightmare. You know, Iron Man, I feel like, is the type of game mode that really likes doing cool things. Recently we had an Iron Man reach 15-star God Roll Crimson. Beautiful armor set. I didn't even know about this until yesterday. So cool grinds like that is what makes Iron Man special to a lot of people. Now, this video isn't gonna be ranting about like stuff Iron Man related. I'm sure a lot of normal profile endgame players can agree to this, that the best way to play is to not play. What I mean by that is, time and time again since Skyblock XP became pretty much the core gameplay of Hypixel Skyblock, we have cases where content comes in with really like raw eyeballed numbers that don't feel playtested at all, and this content lives in the game for a minimum a month, and people play through the content, they get really invested, and suddenly a lot of people complain that the content's not very good, which is a valid, you know, complaint in most cases. But the way they solve the issue is they strictly just change the numbers. They don't try to make the gameplay better. They don't try to tweak to make the bestiary or the grind, you know, slightly more fun by adding certain elements, maybe a new item that is easy to obtain that could make, you know, a cool little addition to the grind. No, it's usually just strictly just the numbers just get changed. Recently we had Flare bestiary be changed from 100,000 to 10,000 for practically no reason. They also rolled out a patch that fixed their spawn rates. If you didn't know, Flares got changed to where they wouldn't spawn unless the chunks are being loaded. So you needed like 4 accounts in all corners of the magma boss area to you know, even like spawn the flares properly. So they recently rolled out a patch to fix that, and the bestiary just got changed. Like, I understand why, because, you know, Gauntlet of Contagion, they're trying to fix the duping of mobs that are like mobs that are stacked together, or that like a lot of entities count as one entity type of mobs. They're trying to kill the duping, I guess, bug. But you know, even then, like the bestiary has been at 100,000 for so long. So many people grinded it. I personally don't care about it because it's still the best way to grind nether stars. But like, just think about the time people waste. A really good example is a lot of just bestiaries that, yes, the current numbers make more sense, but why did the numbers stay in the game for so long until they get changed? If you take a look at the Angry Archaeologist bestiary, this was a bestiary that took a really long time. This was if you had this bestiary maxed at 10,000, this was wow, you know, you put in some grind, and that was, you know, it felt good. Then they roll out a patch that just kind of makes the grind a zero-time grind while you're just playing Catacombs, you're probably just gonna max this bestiary, which is a better way, I guess. It's a much better number, but why did the numbers make it into the game at 10,000 and then just get shafted to 3,000 later? And this is the complaint, right? This is the issue with Skyblock. No matter what grind, this could be the most random grind that you started doing. There's no point, because the chances of that grind becoming irrelevant or just straight up easier is really high. Like, for example, we have foraging update coming out, and just completely out of nowhere, randomly, we have a new golden dragon perk that makes it so Crown of Avarice is much faster to grind. Why would you bother grinding Crown of Avarice when the new golden dragon has a new perk that, gives you 5 coins per monster kill for every other unique max combat pet that you own? This makes the grind like a couple hours shorter. So why would have you wasted, time grinding when random foraging update can just make a Crown of Avarice grind way easier, Things like that. And there's no reason to put more time into playing Skyblock than the exact necessary amount required for Skyblock XP, right? There's no point for me to grind more money than I need for, my Iron Man needs. There's no point for me to, let's say, make a really cool armor set if there is no use for it. There's no need to do anything in the game, because the chances are they're gonna really fuck you over for putting in that time are really high. And that is the biggest issue with Skyblock at the moment, especially for Endgame. If that's the way they balance the game, this is why Hypixel Skyblock Endgame is you log on a new fresh update, you finish the content, you forget about it, and you log off. That is the current state, and it's not great. I think that the game lacks a constant flow of players. It struggles to keep them around, and as a player, as a content creator, it's really hard. It's really hard to stay motivated, putting in time into something that feels like it's gonna be a waste of time. And there is, I guess, a solution for this on my side, and this is where I wanted to make the announcement that I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to start a normal profile. I wanted to play through the early game, through the mid game, through the late game again. I haven't been in that stage of the game for 4 years now, and I really want to catch myself up to date. There has been so many updates, so much quality of life since I last played through those parts that I think it would be a fun time. I feel like be a better player if I, play through the early parts of the of Skyblock. So from this day on, I will be mostly playing a normal profile, at least a couple hours a day, and I will be streaming it all on Twitch. So if you want to see what it's like to, I guess, relearn the game from an endgame's perspective, I'll see you there. And Hypixel Skyblock Iron Man will have to wait until new content comes out, because I'm basically done. There's nothing for me left to do besides just waiting. Everything's time locked. My chili peppers are being grinded. I'm just waiting. All of the museum crafts are locked behind me getting vertexes, and all of the other museum items are locked behind some like either party equipment or like Ear of the Seal or some random time locked things, and then just rabbits. And that's it. That's max Skyblock XP for me. So yeah, I will be starting a normal profile, and I will not be taking contraband for pretty much the majority of the, I guess, profile's existence. I really want to feel what it's like to enter the economy and what it's like to earn your own money, what it's like to money grind. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you're feeling about recent Skyblock. I have fun playing it, right? When there's content, I do enjoy it. It's just that when I finish the content, when it really starts to hit me, when it really becomes demotivating to bother playing the game. Like yesterday, I finished my rock to fish grind, which was kind of like a small little couple hour grind to get the last obtainable fish that I can at the moment. I finished that and just felt lost. I just felt like, I don't know, there's no point to put in any time into playing anything, because new updates are just gonna make it easier. The best way to play the game is not to play it, and that's why I feel like starting over from fresh could be really interesting. I'm not really affected by all of the end game activities up to really far into the game, so it'll be fun. I'll see you there.